Há quase um ano publicámos o primeiro episódio da série documental Palestina, Histórias de um País Ocupado. Quem a ouviu sabe que uma grande parte da banda sonora é composta por músicas da banda Trio Joubran. O grupo veio a Portugal a semana passada para 2 concertos em Lisboa e em Évora e falámos com eles. Para perceberes melhor as referências e o contexto histórico desta conversa, houve primeiro os 6 episódios da série Palestina, Histórias de um País Ocupado. Uma grande parte desta conversa é em inglês. Podes vê-la em vídeo e legendada em português em fumaca.pt. Agora sim, de volta à história. Em 1948, mais de 800 mil palestinianas e palestinianos foram expulsos das suas casas. Durante a Nakba, ou catástrofe em português, mais de 500 vilas desapareceram do mapa, destruídas pelas forças militares do recém-criado Estado de Israel. Nazaré, uma das maiores cidades do norte da Palestina, foi das únicas a manter-se de pé. Resistiu à limpeza étnica e albergou milhares de famílias que fugiam da morte. A família Joubran foi uma delas.
I think it was a chaos and disaster for all the Palestinian people, for our history.
Samir, Wissam e Adnan Joubran nasceram em Nazaré. Para Samir, o mais velho dos 3, a palavra ocupação tem mais do que um sentido. Há a ocupação da Palestina, que existia há já mais de 2 décadas, ainda ele não era nascido, e há uma outra, mais bonita, diz. Foi ocupado pelo oud, um instrumento de cordas criado há milhares de anos. O oud é um dos mais importantes instrumentos do mundo árabe, e Samir Joubran, pai dos irmãos, um dos seus mais reconhecidos luthiers, o nome dado aos artesãos que fabricam ou reparam instrumentos de corda com caixa de ressonância. Os irmãos Joubran são a 4ª geração de luthiers e tocadores de oud desta família. Em 2004 formaram a banda Trio Joubran e no final do ano passado lançaram o seu 6º álbum, The Long March, que serve de homenagem a Mahmoud Darwish, talvez o maior poeta palestiniano do último século, falecido em 2008. O nome do álbum, tal como o título de todas as músicas que o compõem, são citações do seu poema O Penúltimo Discurso do Índio Vermelho ao Homem Branco. Samir Joubran recebeu-nos no Salão Nobre do Teatro da Trindade, em Lisboa, depois de testes de som de mais de 3 horas e 5 anos de um dos 2 concertos que deram na semana passada em Portugal. A conversa foi dura, difícil, mas nunca tão dura quanto a realidade de quem sofre uma ocupação que se perpetua no tempo e que parece não ter fim. Seja toda a gente bem-vinda ao 2 Pontos, um programa fumaça de histórias contadas com tempo. Eu sou o Ricardo Esteves Ribeiro.
For me, Palestine is the seed that my grandmother gave it to me from her land before 1948, where she came in 1948 to Nazaré, and this small seed is the hope that I'm living now. If you put it in with the water and with air, it can grow up. And for me, Palestine is not a name of a flag or a geographical place. It's a sense of a human being that we deserve to live without occupation. We deserve to live without any violence. We deserve to live in a place that we can smell the trees, smell the flowers without smelling the gas of the bombs, without hating. We cannot live today with peaceful while the occupation is still living in our bed.
Nazaré is widely considered as one of the few cities or villages that didn't really surrender to occupation, land expropriation, or ethnic cleansing during Nakba in 1948. Can you explain that story?
I wasn't born there to explain it, but as a history, they say that it was the biggest city in the north of Palestine. And a lot of people that they left their houses in Nakba 1948, they came from the small villages to the town of Nazaré. And I think from the fear, from all what happened around the city of Nazaré, where a lot of people just escape from the fear, from the killing people there. They came to the city of Nazareth. Some of them, they left from Nazareth to the north, up to Lebanon, up to Syria, and they are refugees today. These are the refugees that in Lebanon, most of them, they are from the north of Palestine, where they left and they thought that they will come back after 1 week or 2 weeks, and still their keys is with them.
A família de Mahmoud Darwish é uma das que mantém a chave da casa que foi forçada a abandonar em 1948. Numa carta escrita 40 anos depois, Darwish descreve como o exílio parecia ser apenas temporário. Deixámos tudo como estava. O cavalo, ovelhas, o boi, portas abertas, jantar quente, o chamamento para a reza da tarde e o rádio sozinho. Talvez tenha ficado ligado até hoje para transmitir as notícias das nossas vitórias. Samir Joubran nasceu e cresceu na cidade de Nazaré, que hoje integra o território que a maioria dos países do Ocidente chama Israel. Ao contrário das pessoas que vivem do outro lado do muro da separação que Israel construiu, Samir pode viajar para qualquer parte da Palestina. And how is it to live with a Israeli ID or Israeli passport?
This is so many big questions. Well, it's a schizophrenia. You have a passport that you were obliged to have this passport since you was born. And you are fighting always to say that you are a Palestinian. And for the Israelis, Palestinian is like something dark, something doesn't exist.
Do you have Israeli friends?
What do you mean by Israeli friends? By Israeli Jewish friends? Yes, for sure. I grew up in Nazareth, where I know Hebrew. I should study Hebrew in the classes, and for sure I have friends, because our problem is not with the human beings. Our problem is with the politicians. Our problem is with the politics, the occupation. Our problem is with our rights as Palestinians living inside of Israel, to have our rights equally with everybody as a citizenships holding the passport. Now we are coming into elections, and you can see how Netanyahu in the last election says, oh, be careful, all the Arabs, they are running into the voting. He's like saying, making a separation. I lived in Ramallah because my wife is from Ramallah as well. So my wife is holding the Palestinian passport. I hold the Israeli passport as a Palestinian.
So she can't get into Nazareth?
Yes, no, for sure. My wife cannot go to Nazareth, cannot go to Jerusalem. Can you imagine? My wife was born in Jerusalem. She's a wife of Israeli passport. I'm from Palestinians 48. She's a mother of 2 girls that having Israeli passports, Palestinians. She has American passport. You can visit Jerusalem and she cannot. I wish that my music or our music is not political, but we cannot say that our music is not political. Once Palestine is still under occupation, yes, our music is still under the occupation of the identity. But it's true as well to believe that we want to be free in our music, because if you are freeing yourself, if you are free from yourself, then you can be part of a project of a free land. A long time must go by before our present becomes history. Just like us, we will face the long march. But first, we will defend the trees we were. We will defend the bell of the night and the hanging moon over our huts. We will defend the leaping deer and the clay of our pots and the eagle feather in the wings of our final songs.
But soon you will erect your world on our remains. You will pave over the sacred places to open a road to the satellite the settlements, the dead, and the bulldozers, the dead, and the hospitals. There are radar screens to capture the dead who die more than once in this life. To capture the dead who walk off to death, the dead who breed the beast of civilization. The dead who die to carry the earth after all the relics are gone. Where, O white master, are you taking my people and yours?
Because Roger is one of the legends, is the legend of the music in the world. First of all, as a musician, we're talking about the founder of the Pink Floyd. This guy is standing with the Palestinian cause since a long time. He's fighting for us since a long time. He's fighting for justice, not just for Palestine, for other causes in the world. And we knew that he knew our music by chance. So we contacted him. He welcomed us at his home. And then we told him why we don't make this project together. And that was an answer for Trump about declaring Jerusalem a capital of Israel. It was the answer of us and Roger Waters by this great poem written by Mahmoud Darwish.
سيمضي زمان طويل.
Well, Mahmoud Darwish is the greatest poet in the last century in the world, not just for the Palestinian, not just for the Arab world. And we were so lucky to know him for 13 years, to perform with him in so many places and all over the world. For me, Mahmoud Darwish is the identity of Palestine, is the symbol of the culture, is the symbol of the pure educational identity, and that dream that will come true one day. The metaphor of all the stupid politicians and political decisions. Mahmoud Darwish is the rhythm of the sea that we can always swim and dream of it.
يحمل الأرض فوق الرفات. إلى أين يا سيد البيض تأخذ شعبي وشعبك؟
Roger is also heavily involved in the BDS, Boycott, Disinvestment and Sanctions movement, a movement of resistance against the Israeli occupation. He calls for also a cultural boycott to Israel, and that's why he refuses to play there. Do you support BDS and the cultural boycott?
For sure.
And doesn't that mean that you couldn't play in Nazareth?
No.
Have you played in Nazareth?
For sure.
How was it?
Amazing. We played in Nazareth, we played in Haifa, we played in everywhere, and we have massive audience from all over. And this is the place that I was born. For sure, I will not give no one in the earth to let me, and no any politician and no any decision, to don't allow me to play into the place that I was born. But when we make these concerts, we produce it by ourselves. We will never accept any invitation, not from an Israeli festival, and not from an Israeli promoter, or not from an Israel. We don't take any sponsor or partnership with the Israeli government or Ministry of Cultures. We produce it by our own. We pay everything by our own. Then we control the room and the venue and all the identity.
No dia 16 de março, Roger Waters escreveu uma carta aberta ao artista Conan Osiris, que representará Portugal no Festival Eurovisão da Canção do próximo maio, pedindo que se recusa a atuar em território ocupado, boicotando o evento. This year's Eurovision Song Contest will be in Tel Aviv. Should musicians boycott the Eurovision?
Yes, and I think art should be a message, and a very powerful message. Boycotting something artistically is the strongest message to give to politicians Because artists, they are in love with life. They would love to live together with other people, and they are very sensitive. And I think through art, we can deliver a big message. We are not holding tanks, and we are not holding bombs, and we are not holding any weapons. We are only holding our culture to say no, where is the time to say no. And this is the simple thing that we can do.
Shukran.
Thank you very much. Wow, that was heavy.
Este 2 pontos foi escrito por mim, Ricardo Esteves Ribeiro. O Pedro Miguel Santos e a Margarida David Cardoso fizeram a edição do texto e da estrutura. O Bernardo Afonso fez a edição de som. A Joana Batista fez a edição de vídeo e legendagem. Fazem ainda parte da equipa Fumaça, Ana Freitas, Frederico Raposo, Maria Almeida, Mou Tafes, Sofia Rocha, Tomás Pereira e Tomás Pinho. A entrevista que fizemos a Samir Joubran e o Samir Joubran pode ser ouvida na totalidade no nosso podcast Extras. Vai à tua aplicação de podcasts e procura Extras, do Fumaça, para ouvires estas e outras entrevistas em bruto. Nesta peça foram utilizadas as músicas The Trees We Wear, Supremacy, Carry the Earth e The Time Must Go By, do álbum The Long March, do Trio Joubran. Houve mais episódios em fumaca.pt, no YouTube ou na tua aplicação de podcasts. Até já.